So you wonder how the ZANU PF people think. But if you look at how Rutendo Matinyarare thinks, he defines the kind of people we are dealing with. He defines that we are dealing with people who do not think. In his tweet, he says, "I'm just curious. This Chamisa who killed his mom by sanctions and poverty, did he ever take his own mother for holiday while she was still alive?" What kind of a question is that? What kind of an engagement is that? This is a toddler who has been asking President Chamisa to debate him. This is an idiot who can't even face people like us to debate with. I have asked Rutendo Matinyarare times without numbers to say, Rutendo, platforms are there. Can you come live on a debate so that we talk about the issues you are raising, so that we clear the air about these things which are happening in the nation of Zimbabwe? He can't. But that is the man who wants to debate with Advocate Nelson Chamisa. Look at how shallow his mind is. He's a man who is taking care of his family through ZANU PF loot. He's a man who is being paid by ZANU PF to run propaganda. This is a man who is being paid by ZANU PF to take the South African banks to court, to intimidate the South African banks in South Africa. Yet back home, they are failing to deal with the issue of judiciary. Job Sikala is rotting in prison for a crime which he didn't commit. Yet the judiciary is rotten to the core here in Zimbabwe. But they want to abuse the justice systems in South Africa which are functional. So I wonder what kind of person is this one. I don't know. In South Africa, they are actually fighting the immigration department of South Africa for the Zimbabweans to stay as long as they want in South Africa. Why? It's because they know very well that the day the Zimbabweans will come back to Zimbabwe, that is the day the government of Zimbabwe is going to collapse. Why? Because the health will be overwhelmed. The health system will be overwhelmed. The education system overwhelmed. Unemployment will shoot much higher. Everything, the resources will be overstrained here in Zimbabwe because ZANU PF has been doing nothing for the past 42 years and they've done nothing. So they cannot sustain the Zimbabweans which are living in South Africa since the year 2000. A lot of Zimbabweans have been living in South Africa. So if those people in their millions are to come back, if we are to add 5 million adults, 5 million adults who are living in South Africa alone, if we are to add them into the nation of Zimbabwe, what is going to happen? So you would see that that will be the collapse of this government because Vanu Vajaira Kurama good life, they won't be able to take it any longer. They won't be able to continue being intimidated. That is the reason why they are fighting the South African government, they are fighting the South African immigration department. So as to force them to keep the Zimbabweans so that he survives for a very long time. But not this time around. Why? Because the people of Zimbabwe are going to vote in 2023. They're going to vote out the incompetence of ZANU PF. They're going to vote out the incompetent Nyatsumba Mtota. And they will bring in a new government. They will usher in a new government. I don't know, guys, but this is what is happening. Rutendo Matinyarare and Nikumpump continues to attack President Chamisa, which shows that President Chamisa is on the right track.